welcome to the POV test drive. There's a camera mounted from the panoramic roof right next to my head, so you can see everything from the centre. We have quite a nice test route laid out. We're quite lucky in the area where we are. There's lots of varieties of different types of roads. So right now we're on Roar Lane, which is, as you can see, it's a 50 mile an hour road, single carriageway in both directions. We're going to take a right up the old A130 to the Retton Turnpike, a similar sort of road as this but a bit faster. We're going to run down to the BP garage, also known as the Shore Farm roundabout in South Woodham, and that will conclude the sort of single carriageway higher speed section. We'll chuck a left onto Creep Edge Lane and we'll go see how it handles through the single track country lanes up until the How Green roundabout. We'll then do a speed run down the A130 from the How Green roundabout, which is where the A130 meets the A12, all the way down to the Fairglen interchange, which is where the A130 meets the A127. We're going to swing underneath the A127 and then we're going to chuck a right and we'll go through some residential streets and loop back round to where we started from. Not much to say right now, we're sitting at a set of traffic lights. The car's set to hold. You can, it's under here somewhere, this is what happens when you've only had a car a day, you see. When you're driving you can tell how you want it to deal with you being stationary. There we go, stopping mode. Currently set to hold, obviously greyed out because we're moving. But you can also have it to roll, which effectively disengages the gears. It's like putting a manual car into neutral and taking your foot off the brake. Or creep, which is your traditional automatic transmission creep, where if you leave it in drive and take your foot off, you're going to start moving forward a little bit. I have to say, and I hope this comes across on the film, I've not put any kind of external microphone on or anything like that. So I'm using a 4K phone camera with stereo microphone built in, so there's nothing extra. There's nothing designed to pick up any extra noises or anything like that. It's just purely as if you're sitting in the car. And it's lovely and quiet. A little bit of road rumble, you get that with everything. Obviously there's no engine noise, so road noise becomes more noticeable, but otherwise it's a nice, pleasant, yeah, it feels like a luxury vehicle, and I know it is to a certain degree, but it does genuinely feel like it. Have to ignore any vibration on the camera there. I don't think my thingy is quite as seated as I would want it to be. Give that a tweak. Give that a tweak. Ooh! Ooh, ooh. That was squeaky. Then come up the Retton Turnpike. Now Teslas, like most other electric vehicles, of course, have regenerative braking on. So the moment I take my foot off the accelerator completely, we slow down quite noticeably. I don't know if you can pick it up on the camera, but even the little model of the Tesla on the screen has its brake lights on. There's very little body roll. A lot of people complain about the Model Y being quite a harsh ride, but there's a very fine line between harsh and controlled. And to be honest, I prefer it like this. You know, I've come from a Tucson, and it's supremely comfortable. These seats are nicer, much, much nicer. They're very supportive. They feel a lot plusher. And obviously the car is quieter, similar in size to the Tucson. Possibly a bit bigger boot. Whereas in the US, I believe they're on par with each other in terms of interior space, because the Tucson's actually slightly longer in the US and select other markets around the world. Specifications and trim levels may vary depending on the region and availability. We are on Burnham Road. Let's get that out of the way so you can see where we are. Currently on Burnham Road, heading towards the Shore Farm roundabout, South Wooden Ferries. This piece of road we're on at the moment has suffered very badly. And I mean very badly. Hence the signs up saying speed limit for safety reasons. It's kind of pulling itself apart, so there's lots of lumps and bumps, which make for a very interesting drive, especially if you can get up to a higher speed. Not that one. Go consistently fast enough with enough of these bumps and you end up getting seasick. Has to be said, I am a car guy. Yeah, a lot of people that come into a Tesla have only really recently ever driven, you know, BMWs, Mercedes, and things like that. So they're always comparing their, you know, their German mobile to what they see as an American product, and I think it gets a bit of an unfair rap because of that. You know, ultimately, you know, this particular vehicle was built in Shanghai. It uses some of Tesla's most advanced vehicle construction methods, which are way ahead of most other manufacturers. They do everything in-house. They're even doing a lot of their parts production in-house now. They're aiming to get more and more done themselves, like vertical engineering or manufacturing, or some other marketing bullshit term like that. I'm not talking much, am I? Dear me, there's not a lot to say, to be honest. You know, it's a lovely car. It is a genuinely lovely car. I drive a lot of vehicles as part of my job. This is absolutely one of the nicest ones. Just be nice if we could get a bit more road to, I don't know, throw it around a bit, open up the legs a bit. It feels like it wants to go. Obviously you can only do that to a certain extent. While you're on this mystery tour, it should be pointed out that the Call of the Wild Zoo coming up on the left has only recently opened and used to be known by the name of Tropical Wings. That's my tour guide. Completely invisible. It's quite a funky voice. It certainly catches your attention and you listen to it, and that's the important thing. That's the other thing, listening. I'm not talking loudly. I'm talking at normal talking volume. You know, I don't have a particularly loud voice. Right, country lane, single file country lanes. As long as there are no other cars coming. Jesus, move over. Bloody Nora. As long as there are no other cars coming, we have an opportunity to put the foot down a bit, throw it around a bit, and really see what it can do. Preferably without losing touch of the road. But that's one of the reasons why I've chosen this one. It was resurfaced not so long ago, and it is quite grippy. There's a car coming down there. Several cars coming down there. We're on quite a wide stretch, so I might be able to zip down a bit. It thought it was too close. The trouble is, there's a ditch outside, so where do you go? I know, it's the white line. Holy hell, that's fast. Ooh. That's very quick. When you've got good visibility, I have to say, that ain't bad. Get beat again. Because there's a solid drop over the other side of the field. behind corners, you can't actually see if there's anything coming, so you never really should throw a car around a bit like this. Follow the highway code, folks. It'll save your life. Oh, quite a few cars coming. Let me slow down a bit because I don't know how far over they are. I tend to find a lot of Land Rover drivers just don't really realise how wide their cars are. They'll sit in the middle of the road as opposed to trying to be near the side of the road out of the way. Hide hall on the left hand side there. Nice for a walk in the summer. A lot of people don't get on with roads like this, and I can absolutely understand why. I've been driving for far too long to care. I'll put my car anywhere if it'll fit. I'm an expert, and I mean an expert, at fitting a big thing into a small space. So much so that car in front's flashing me now. I've said that. We're here. Onwards. What can I say about my handling? You're never going to throw it around like this, let's face it. You're never going to be doing that. It's not the sort of thing you do on an everyday basis. You know, this isn't a Top Gear test track. You're not trying to kill the car. But at the same time, you can throw it around a little bit. It's very well planted. As with all EVs, the battery is under the boot floor. Under the whole floor, in fact, sorry. And that does make a big difference. I don't actually know which road I'm on now. East Tunningfield Road, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I was really hoping there'd be nobody in the way. We're going to go up, we're going to go down Pan Lane, join up with Main Road. Head up. So single carriageway, fast moving road. Smoother. This one isn't pulling itself apart as much as what the other one is. Although they are still putting some little white markings in there to do some patchworks. It's Friday today. I don't know what day I'm actually uploading this. Depends when I finish editing. But it's Friday today, and the amount of slow people is untrue. I do like being able to do that, you know. Everybody's out for a Sunday drive, and I mean everybody. Even people that you wouldn't expect to be out for a Sunday drive are out for a Sunday drive. I mean, it's nice to get out and have a nice rural drive, and you know, stick within the speed limit, of course, because you know we would not want to exceed it. Honestly, sort of. But at the same time, if there's someone in front of you, you feel like you can't just go for it when you want to. You've got right of way! Please don't turn left. Please don't turn left. Please don't turn left. Actually, scratch that. Just make a decision. Oh, of course you are. That's the other thing. Because it's so quiet, you feel that you're going slower than you are. Genuinely doesn't feel like we're doing 25 miles an hour. Which I have to say, this guy in front of us is quite right. You know, there's a lot of little side turnings. It's not a massively wide road. You shouldn't be going any faster than that down here. Until you get clear of it, anyway. The sun visors do a good job. They seem to be very well positioned. I've got it up quite high at the moment. You can see it right down like that, in which case I can't see the thing. But rather than being on a clip, it's actually magnetic. So this piece here, hopefully you can see it. You might be able to see it. Just about right in the corner of the frame. That's magnetic, so you can just pull it away. Which is nice, because it means when you put it back, you haven't got to worry about trying to force it back in. Nothing worse than trying to force something into a hole you don't want to go into. not going to say that I would know because that would just be wrong. Maybe a little bit. That's interesting. I zoomed out on the map. I just noticed. You lot didn't tell me. I zoomed out on the map, and it stayed where I zoomed. It hasn't actually re-caught up with ourselves. Aha. Okay. Now we're back with ourselves. Excellent. My dream house is along this road somewhere. It was up for sale a little while ago. It hadn't been finished. It had more bedrooms than I'd ever needed. Wasn't the point. It came with something like 3 or 4 acres of land, swimming pool, and a complete garden entertainment room. You know, space for hot tub and steam room, sauna, and that sort of thing. It's only 2.6 million, and it was unfinished. 2.6 million. That's the price of my happiness, I think. But then at the same time, for her, hey, don't be flicking stones up at me. Brand new screen, brand new car. But then if I had 2.6 million, realistically, I'd probably buy a smaller house for me here, and then something nicer in a hot country somewhere with a pool I can use year round as opposed to just in summer. Rambling a bit, aren't I? It's difficult to know. I mean, I could do an edited version of this video with just the relevant bits, because then you don't get the full experience of the drive. But I also feel like I don't want to leave you in complete silence the whole time. Just awkward patches here and there. That house there on the left. You can't see it because the camera's facing forward. It was that one. Oh, that's pretty. So many nice houses around here. Whoever the lottery might actually buy a property around here. It's so nice. Although you're fairly close to the A12. Probably a bit annoying. We're coming up towards the How Green roundabout, which is where the A130 joins the A12. Curiously, you can go up the A12 for a little bit and then split back off onto a different piece of the A130. We're actually going to go down the A130 back towards my neck of the woods, and hopefully it will be fairly empty and we'll be able to get a decent bit of, you know, speed, power, whatever you want to call it. Of course, put autopilot on as well. Let's see how that fares. Hopefully it'll be quite nice. This really is getting rocketed around a bit, isn't it? The rural road done. How green roundabout. Let's be a bit sneaky. Let's go. That never gets bored. Autopilot is on. So it's reminding me that you have to keep your hands on the wheel. Little blue icon up here tells you that autopilot is on. The fact you have blue lane lines means that it knows exactly where you are. I'm leaving it to do it, but you do have to keep in contact with the wheel. Otherwise it will just turn off the system and slam you into a wall somewhere. I don't want to put it back on. There we go. If you pay for one of the more advanced autopilot packages, you get wheel change lanes for you. I don't know what it will do this one. Ah, okay, it doesn't do it. 70 miles an hour, lovely sunny day. Hopefully that's not interfering with the lens. No, jolly good. Rear drift thing I'll show you that is going to be, because that's got some significant wobble on it. There's not a lot of road noise. This is a very peaceful place to be. I have to say, this is a very peaceful place to be. I can feel the car fighting with the wind. Because again, I'm not steering, the car's doing that on itself. Needless to say, I'm not going to be asking it to do 135 miles an hour. Is that really? If I ever go to Germany, then I'll push it on the autobahn and I'll record it at that point. But I value my driving licence too much, especially as I've just got this car. I'm paying for this car. I kind of need to be able to drive it. I don't know if in this wind it just kind of feels a little bit twitchy. Super twitchy. See, it feels a lot more stable. I like that. That is good. Maybe I should just fast forward through the black lanes. But then again, you don't get a proper experience of the whole drive. Yeah, that's a big old truck. Bright. 19 degrees. It's like end of the first week of October. It's an insane temperature for the UK. Autopilot doing its thing, slowing us down. It's such a relaxed drive. I haven't got the top steer switched on right now. As you can tell, it's all grey, there's no clue anywhere. But not having to worry about the distance between you and the car in front. If it's going faster or slower than you, because the car does that for you. I know a lot of manufacturers do offer it, but it just feels a lot more refined than this. You know, this car sees the car in the next lane that's moving over and chooses to slow down, where most vehicles, if it's not in your lane, it doesn't exist, and they'll quite often wait until a vehicle is fully in your lane before doing anything about it. So you end up with a harsh brake. Whereas this is quite pleasant. These seats, I've said it already, I'm comfortable with these seats. So I feel I have to say it again. Coming up to the bottom of the A130, we're going to veer off to the left to the A127, go underneath the A127, and chuck a right out the Commons Arms roundabout, and go through a little bit of Urban Street back to where we came from. Hey car, how are you going to slow me down here? Right. Yeah, no, I've changed lanes. I understand that things aren't leaving the lane, but you think it would also have some kind of GPS awareness that there is a split here, so just because I didn't indicate doesn't mean I wasn't turning. Let's turn on the while off because I don't want to take control. Fun fact, the A127 is a road. Excuse me. Don't know if it does show up on camera or not, but even with the top down view you've still got a little brake light showing on it. And we're off! Sort of. Everybody's out for a Sunday drive today. Jesus! You always get one that tries to race you. Got a great Fiesta on the left there. This is the Carpenter's Arms roundabout. So called because down on the left, 100 yards away, is the Carpenter's Arms. You're going to put your foot down and accelerate, not realising that I'm not following. Tesla's doing track boy races. They're like, oh, mate, I hear your car's fast. I don't think it is. And then you have a choice. You can either leave them in your dust and let them eat your clean electrons, or you can just let them run and you poodle along and make it clear that you're not interested in racing. Which of course you never do, because if it is safe to do so, you always put a boy racer in their place. And this isn't even the performance model. When you come through roads like this, more so than country lanes, when you come through roads like this, single lane in a built up area, and it is quite a tight urban area, that's when you kind of realise how sizable this car actually is, and it really is. There's a lorry there? No, there isn't. I'm going to have to run this video through a stabiliser before I can use it. Well, that's definitely got a bit of a wiggle on it. Not a lot, but it's got enough. Earthquake! Possibly a towel in a school time, so of course it's busy. It's wide. Now here's a genuinely fun fact, and quite an unnerving fact. This car, with the mirrors folded, so not sticking out like they are at the moment, folded, is 6'6". Some width restrictions are 6'6". So what that effectively means is you can't fit through some width restrictions that are designed to stop commercial vehicles going through. And that's crazy. When I first started doing this video, I had the idea to do a POV. I know loads of people do it, but they just sort of strap my GoPro to their helmet and go film. They don't tend to talk, or people do reviews and they cut and edit and stuff like that. But I wanted to do an uninterrupted view with a little bit of chat in the middle. You know, I had this grand idea that I would be talking the whole way through it, and imparting loads of really useful knowledge about the car and my thoughts and opinions on it. But the reality is, it's just nice to drive, and I've just been driving it. It kind of makes it difficult to talk about sometimes, because it's there. It's peace and tranquility. It's a spa resort on wheels. high pace in front of us. That's another chunky car in it. Look at the size of that butt. Unfortunately, my budget didn't stretch to a gyroscopic tripod. Maybe I should invest in one. Might make the drives better. As we prepare for our short road trip to come to an end, I'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with Tesla. We always. And we ask you to put your seat back up in the upright position, stow your tray tables. I'd like to wish you a pleasant onward journey. I might pop into Asda. I'm going to end this like 30 seconds too soon. I need to pop into the supermarket to get something. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I love driving this car. I'm going to upload. There's two versions of the video. If you haven't liked me talking, there is a silent one, just with a bit of background music. Maybe, or it might just be completely silent. I haven't decided yet. The other thing I hate about Asda's is their spaces are so small. Goodbye, fellow viewer. Enjoy your day. Thank you for joining me.